I'm heading to the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin to see the sea caves. I'm going to do a solo overnighter there, and the temperatures look like they're going to be great. A high of 32 and just 25 for a low at night. So I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity while I can to get out there. It's not very often that Lake Superior freezes over enough where you have access to get inside the caves. You can take the hiking trail above them, but to actually walk on the lake and get inside and explore the caves is great. We're lucky enough to have it accessible 2 years in a row now, but before that it was 5 years since I was last out there. So I'm going to play hooky from work and take advantage of the opportunity while I can. Got about an hour drive. I got to stop in Bayfield and get my permit and stuff, but I'll check back to you once we get there. Apostle Islands National Lakeshore consists of 21 islands on the south shore of Lake Superior in northwest Wisconsin. The area is known for its old-growth forest, sandstone sea caves, and historic lighthouses. Okay, here we are at the ice caves, which is just about a mile past Myers Beach, the parking area. I think what I'm going to do, instead of taking the hiking trail, I'm just walking the shoreline. So I'll get some footage of the caves along the way to the campsite. And I'll come back later this evening after setting up camp and explore the caves a little deeper. And hopefully catch a good sunset and avoid the crowds. So. I've just been walking along the shoreline here. I was further out on the ice and it was a lot easier, but now since I'm not using any GPS or anything, I kind of got to hug the shoreline so that I'm able to spot my campsite. I'm looking for any signage or picnic table, anything to indicate where my campsite is. The only problem with that is now I'm dealing with all these snow drifts and ice chunks. It's pretty difficult. Alright, it looks like we got a sign over there. Could be our campsite. We'll get a little closer, find out for sure though. Yes, finally made it. Well, here's home. Got a bear box, tent pad, fire ring, picnic table, and plenty of places to hang from. Did the lake walk here, which ended up being a little further than the hiking trail would have been, at 5.32 miles. Felt more like 15 though. Well, I was at the ranger station getting my permit. The head ranger, he said since he's worked here, I'm the only one that is winter camped at this spot. That's just crazy. I mean, look at this place. Absolutely beautiful. There's a tent pad here. Nice and flat. Access down to the lake right there. Get a lot of kayakers here. And I got my rig set up back there, tucked underneath the fir trees. Smells nice. And Lake Superior behind me. Nice view of Lake Superior, aka the Great Gitchagumi. Cleanest water in the world right there. Give you an idea of how big the lake is. It's about roughly the same size as the state of Maine. A maximum depth of 1,300 feet. It's enough water to cover North and South America in a foot of water. It's Minnesota off in the distance over there, North Shore, and it kind of fades as it heads that way. If you think about the shape of Lake Superior, it's almost like a finger pointing directly at the Duluth Superior area. And then the Apostle Islands, where I'm at here, would be kind of where the tip of my thumb is here. And around the corner over there is Sand Island. I wanted to hike out there to see the lighthouse, but they told me at the visitor center it's just not safe. The ice is too thin, so that ain't happening. And over here is Eagle Island, off in the distance there. Nature's canvas here. Centuries of waves crashing against the sandstone, along with the freezing and thawing of ice chiseled out all these caves here. Very cool. Last one out here. See the sun setting behind me. Be nice. Gonna make my way back. Cook me up some food. I'm starving. It's a long way. Hopefully I'll be able to find it alright. Supposed to be a full moon tonight too. Actually, I think yesterday was a full moon. Last night. But either way, if we can see it, there's a 40% chance of snow too. So. Perfect. Moon coming up on the tree line there. I'll have to show you that once it gets higher up. Let me just melt me some snow so that I get enough water. That's ready. Enough water for coffee in the morning, and make some hot chocolate before I go to sleep. I'll just fill all my water bottles with boiling water and then put it in my hammock underneath the blankets, and it holds its heat all night, keeps you nice and warm. It's kind of eerie walking back here with the light breeze going through the caves and the water dripping down, echoing. I kept thinking I was hearing voices along with the ice cracking below my feet. But I was able to find my way back pretty easily just looking at the landscape. The moon hadn't come up all the way yet, but you could see the sky glowing, kind of made a silhouette of the trees on the landscape. Good morning. Coffee and Pop-Tart for breakfast. Have this real quick and then I'll start tearing down. Ready to head out. Show you all my gear before I pack it up. Got the underquilt here from Hammock Gear. It's a Thermarest Scout, I believe. The hammock, 4-bonnet Blackbird. This is a Coleman synthetic sleeping bag. Another sleeping bag in there, synthetic. It's a nice pack. Sea to Summit compression pack. My stove, Kelly kettle, water bottles. This the reflective stuff for insulation for the foot box in the hammock. Wool blanket, tarp, GSI minimalist, food bag. And here's my pack. This thing's put on the miles in the short time I've had it. Kelty Redstone 60. Usually all this gear I'll put in my poke sled and haul it out. It's a big load. I'll be hauling out here like a pack mule. Kind of cool how the ice sheet is froze over there. I wish the camera could pick it up because you can see right down to the bottom, see the boulders down there. But yeah, you gotta have cleats this year. It's pretty slippery. I've been seeing a lot of people wiping out. A few years ago there was a guy living on Park Point, which is a sandbar that connects to the mainland of Duluth, Minnesota via the famous aerial lift bridge. Anyway, he was out ice skating 300 feet off shoreline, and Through 10 inches of crystal clear ice, he spotted a uncharted shipwreck. They lowered some cameras and did some exploring, and turned out to be an old wooden ship from the 1800s. Good spot to stop and take a lunch break. We just had a tuna fish sandwich. Got some fruit snacks and rehydrate. And I got about another mile or two. I jumped on the last section of trail here. Pretty well packed to this point. Once you get past the sea caves, it would have been heavy trudging. Wasn't enough for that. But most of it has been boardwalks, as you can see. I got some blisters to tend to. Not so much because of my boots, but I lost my best pair of smart wool socks. The ones I got on now have created some major blisters. Check this out. Somebody built the snowman just chilling, taking in the view. I shouldn't be too much further from the trailhead. Looks like I got a creek I'm gonna have to cross here. Made it to the trailhead. There's some information on the Lakeshore Trail. I did this section a few years ago. I was hoping I could get up there halfway through, but there's just no way. You can see right here. Here's where I'm at. And I jumped on probably right in here somewhere. Oh, there's the sea caves. So there's the creek that I crossed right there. So I hopped on just before the sea caves, and I did this last section here, 2 miles. And here's where I camped. A picture of it in the summertime. Mainland campsite 1. Sandy beaches I showed you. And this section that I hiked was a lot easier than I did a few years back. It's all boardwalk now. Wasn't the case. Well, you can see here, 2012 and 13, they were funded for purchase of materials for a boardwalk. So that's kind of nice, makes it a lot easier. But I'm sure after the sea caves from this point on to the campsite, that's a lot more rugged. A lot less traveled, a lot less maintained. I'm ready to hit the road.